Boy, the Ottawa Senators shocking the world today a little bit with this Timmy Stutzle signing news, eh? Well, you know what that means. Question of the day time. Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome in if this is your first time to the channel. I'm Josh. This is the Hockey Flow, and today it's Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. Man, the Ottawa Senators making some fans smile today, making some people cringe probably a little bit too. You know why? Timmy Stutzle inks an 8-year, $8.35 million a year extension. Well, you know what that means around here. We got another question of the day. We're going to get to that in just a moment on Today in Hockey. But before we get to that, we got to get to our Today in Hockey. Oh, wait. No, Today in Hockey history. We moved those to YouTube Shorts. Be sure to check them out. You know what that means then. We got to get right into it. Question of the day time. So yes, with this big Timmy Stutzle signing, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the numbers. So we're going to dive into Jfresh Hockey player cards. We're going to look at hockeyreference.com, Stathead, Daily Faceoff. We're going to dive into a few different sources. One, to give you some context on the deal. Two, we're going to walk through Timmy Stutzle's career so far, see if he's earned it or what this deal's about. And then three, we're going to look at some player comps. So stick around for that. If you do enjoy the content, take a moment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a ton. We're just getting started, but the hockey season's right around the corner. Want to make sure you never miss a beat. Never know what we're going to do for a video. So all right, let's get into it. Was signing Tim Stutzle to an 8-year, $8.35 million a year deal the right move for the Ottawa Senators? So as I said, we're going to dive into it. Let's get the context out of the way. So yes, first and foremost, he signed the extension today. So this is going to kick in not this season, but after this season. It's going to be an 8-year, $8.35 million a year deal. And boy, that does feel rich just on the face of it, right? We did talk about Tage Thompson, inked a $7 million a year deal with the Sabres. We talked about a little Jack Hughes action with his big $8 million extension previously. I don't think we're going to talk about Jack Hughes today. Sorry, Devils fans, but I do have some other player comps that I think you guys will enjoy. But let's get some more context out of the way. This isn't a deal about now and about what he's done and what he's brought to the Senators already. This is a deal about potential and what they think he's going to become. They really are. They're moving their chips all in, right? They've had a great offseason. The Senators brought in DeBrincat via trade, signed Giroux. They're adding talent to this already existing young, strong talent pool that they already have, right? So they're just supplementing their team, which is what you want to do. They're doing this the right way, which is really cool to see. Initially, you see the Giroux signing, you see the DeBrincat trade, and you kind of think, boy, are they hitting the gas pedal? Are they hitting the accelerator? And tell you what, they absolutely are. We did a video previously previewing the Senators season. Be sure to check that out. Left the link down in the description for you guys. But I do think that they are dark horses for the playoffs. They have assembled a great team. They've got some good talent in place, but Tim Stutzle is going to be an integral part of that. If they do have success this season, I fully expect Tim Stutzle to be a big part of that. And I'm a big Tim Stutzle fan. But if we do look at the numbers, again, this wasn't about what he's done now. His season last year, 59 players in NHL history have had a season just as good or not better than him in their age 20 seasons. He was only 20 years old after all. And the criteria I went with was 20 plus goals, 35 plus assists, shooting percentage greater than 12, and we will see that in a moment. But again, the Senators, they're all in. If this doesn't turn out, well heck, the rebuild wasn't going to work anyway. Stutzle is a big part of this rebuild. He was drafted super high. They expect him to be a superstar. Now they're paying him, right? So I don't necessarily have a problem with the deal on the face of it. There is a precedence in the NHL. We mentioned Jack Hughes. Well, Leon Draisaitl also signed an extension a little earlier than folks thought. Folks thought, well, maybe he doesn't deserve it. Well, after the season he had last year and the player that he's become, that contract looks like a heck of a value right now. And that's exactly what the Senators are hoping for. Again, Jack Hughes signed his big deal. That's starting to look like a value as well. And another player on the Senators Josh Norris. I know his deal is a little bit less than Timmy Stutzle's. I think the cap hit is just under $8 million on that. Let me know in the comments if I got that one wrong. But I feel like he could be a decent comp as well. But at that point too, is he going to live into that contract? Right now, Senators fans might think he already has. I think the value for what he did last season is just a skosh below 8, but he's definitely on the way. So again, the Senators have already themselves set this precedence, but $8.35 million is a lot of money. That money could be spent elsewhere, right, Senators fans? I know the defensive blue line, there's some question marks there, right-handed defenseman. But again, if these young players keep developing and you get a couple of these young defenders to turn out, then maybe we're not even worried about it, and this $8.35 million is a steal. But again, is this the right move for the Ottawa Senators? Well, according to Hockey Prospecting, if he turns out like the player comp they have, look at number 1 right there, full comp, Mike Modano. My goodness, Senator fans, I think you guys would be very, very happy if that was absolutely the case. But we got the context out of the way. Let's look at the road so far. So Tim Stutzle's career so far, it's been short but been fairly sweet. Last year was a little frustrating for some fans, very much peaks and valleys, but you're going to get that with a young player, only 20 years old. Again, drafted super high, expectations are high, and they kind of just threw him into the fire right away, and he still had a very solid rookie season, right? That's the COVID year. We got to put a little asterisk next to it, but he did play in 53 games, put up 29 points, shooting percentage just a skosh over 10. I'm going to look at that. You know I am. I'm not upset with that. That's a nice first rookie season. Didn't come out of the gates, barn burning or anything like that, but had a nice, solid rookie season, averaged a little over 15 minutes of ice time. But last season, the production started to match the skill, right? We always knew Timmy Stutzle has skill for days. Those hands are wonderful. That shot, boy, the way he can manipulate that shot, it's magical. He can skate like the wind as well. It's fun to watch, but he hasn't been able to really put it all together. Again, he hasn't had a ton of time to do it. More reps, absolutely. And last year, he started to put it together. And in fairness, we did call Timmy Stutzle out as a potential breakout player this season. I'll leave the link down in the description for you guys as well. We did that one, about a week ago. But I do think Tim Stutzle is going to have a solid season, and the numbers kind of support us here, right? He needs to be better at even strength. We'll admit it. I see that red staring me in the face down there. Big shout out to Jfresh Hockey again on these player cards, and Stathead and hockeyreference.com on the stats. And we do see a new little table down there. We'll get to that in just a moment. But he needs to be better at even strength. Jfresh with the player cards here shows us the red 13th percentile and 15th percentile at even strength offense and defense. What's going on? I'm going to chalk it up to inexperience because he was still strong on the power play. The other thing that we've got to talk about with the Ottawa Senators last season and Tim Stutzle was the quality of line mates. He wasn't playing with the highest caliber of players last season, and we see that with this chart provided by Jfresh. I circled Tim Stutzle, I highlighted down there at the bottom. He was in the very bottom corner, so he was almost the lowest on the team. Bottom 6 teammates and bottom 6 competition. So that meant the teammates that he was playing with, his quality of teammates were very low, but they were also playing against other players that weren't the highest quality. So if you surround Tim Stutzle with better players, is his talent going to shine even more and his production going to increase? I think it is. One number I do want to call out too, we do see his shooting percentage, increase by a couple of percent. We love to see that. Hopefully that continues to rise. But one area in the shots that I did circle was the shots off high danger passes. Doesn't look like he got the puck and shot it in high danger scenarios that often, or received the puck in those scenarios that often. I would really like to see him improve in that area, and I think that number is going to go up again with better quality of teammates. So let's get into it though. This was the road so far. Tim Stutzle, I think, has done an excellent job setting himself up for success. He's shown glimmers so far, started to put the production together. But now what can we expect moving forward? So we see the team at the top right there. Big shout out to Daily Faceoff for the lineup. And we see Tim Stutzle slotting in at center number 2. I do like it. I think that's where he's going to play. Spent most of last season, if not the entire season, in that spot. And I think he started to find a home there. The issue was who was playing with him on that line. The majority of the time, I believe it was Connor Brown, maybe Formanton shared some time with him as well. And don't get me wrong, Formanton's an excellent player. He's the only guy unsigned yet on the team. We don't know what's going to happen with his situation necessarily, but Alex DeBrincat and Claude Giroux. Right off the bat, that talent that you just influxed into that second line with Tim Stutzle, I think is going to see his numbers increase immensely just because of that. The talent that he's surrounded with, it's going to rub off on him as well. He's going to be practicing with these guys every day. I am a big proponent of the iron sharpens iron mentality when it comes to sports. You want to practice against the best. You want to make yourself the best. That's how you do it. The Senators do only have a couple of spots to worry about, too. We mentioned Formanton, but Artem Zub on the defense is another one that they do have to worry about locking down long term. But other than that, the team is kind of set. If we can get these young players to really step up and keep developing, they can fill some of those holes. I know the Senators have invested heavily in their defensive draft capital. They have some young offensive prospects coming up as well. We need some of these guys to pan out, and so far you've had some young talent, mature into good NHL players. Josh Norris, Drake Batherson, two right there, for example. The captain, Brady Tkachuk, we're a big fan of his around here. But on defense, we need some more young players to step up. Thomas Chabot needs to return to the player that we know he can be, but that's the team now. Who can we look at as a comp for Timmy Stutzle? So I have two names in particular. The first one, Leon Draisaitl. So let's go Oilers, baby. I love my Oilers. And Leon Draisaitl might be my favorite player. Heck with it. He is my favorite player. We see his jersey hanging up behind him. I absolutely love Leon Draisaitl. So when I see the comps for Leon Draisaitl all over Twitter, I do pause a little bit because Leon Draisaitl is a special player. And I understand the urge to call them out as a comparison just right away for the German aspect, right? They're both young German centermen. Both of them had good young careers. Both were drafted high. I get it. I get why the comparison is there. But let's take a look at Leon Draisaitl's his seasons before his extension and before he really broke out. So we see right here 2014 through 2017. These were the three first seasons for Leon Draisaitl, and they were solid, right? The first season, nothing really to write home about, acclimating to the NHL. But season 2 started to turn it on. Season 3 really started to turn it on. And for context, Timmy Stutzle would be right after year 2. This is entering year 3. So he actually signed his extension a year earlier than Leon Draisaitl. So that's something to think about. But that average ice time, right in line with Timmy Stutzle's. We love to see it. Shooting percentage, a little higher than Timmy's, right? 4% in that third year, but that second year, only 2% higher. So, okay, maybe Leon Draisaitl is an okay comp, right? How many points did Timmy Stutzle have last season? He had 58 points. Not bad whatsoever. Leon Draisaitl, only 51 in that second season. But the Oilers didn't sign Leon Draisaitl after that second season. They signed him after that third season where he put up 77 points. But the comp that I think might be a little better, and some folks might call me crazy, that's okay, let me know in the comments. I like the Sebastian Aho comparison. Now, Sebastian Aho had an incredible season this last year, has been a great NHLer for the past several, but I really think Timmy Stutzle could get to this level. I don't know if he's going to get to the Leon Draisaitl level. Their games are a little different, but I do see a little bit of Sebastian Aho in Timmy Stutzle. I think Timmy Stutzle is maybe an inch taller, but they're right around that 6-foot mark. They're both very good skaters, good with the puck, good hands. If anything, maybe Timmy Stutzle is a little more flashy, maybe just a little bit better in the hands, but right now Sebastian Aho is an established NHL star. Timmy Stutzle is not. He dreams to get to that level, right? But if we look at Sebastian Aho's numbers, again, we're looking at his first 3 seasons in the NHL, 2016, 2017, and 2018. He was also signed, like Draisaitl, after his 3rd season, so he did actually pop off a little more, not as much as Draisaitl. We see 77 points, Aho actually had a better season, 83 points. Give me a hard time in the comments. But we do see the shooting percentage was a little lower than Draisaitl's. It actually hovers right around Timmy Stutzle's, right? We got to love that. The big thing that stands out, though, for Sebastian Aho is that average ice time. He got more opportunities in that 3rd year, and we really saw the point increase. Timmy Stutzle was at 58 points. Sebastian Aho, 65 in that 2nd year, 83 in his 3rd year. 20 minutes of ice time. Could we see the same production out of Timmy Stutzle? Absolutely. And I do, again, like we talked about, the underlying numbers do tend to support us as well. But what about in-house, right? The Senators already have proven that they have someone that can break out. Josh Norris did it last season, puts up 35 goals. Absolutely. That's incredible. Or was it 30? Yeah, let me know in the comments. But Josh Norris broke out last season. So they're taking care of their young players. They're showing that they're committed to them. And boy, they're starting to surround them with talent. So why not? Why isn't it time for Timmy Stutzle to pop off and have an excellent season? I do think the expectations need to be in check, though, right? We can't be throwing Leon Draisaitl at the kid. He already plays with him on the German national team. He already knows how great of a player he is. I'm sure he would love to get to that level. I'm sure he's borrowing things every time he practices, plays with him. But boy, it's tough to thrust those expectations on young players. Just let him be. Let him be the next Timmy Stutzle. How about that, eh? But that's going to do it. So what's the answer going to be? Yes, the Senators are proven they are all in. Show the confidence in the youth. Keep surrounding them with talent. I think this is an excellent signing for the Ottawa Senators. I think Timmy Stutzle is going to grow into this contract. I think within a few years, we're going to be talking about it as a value. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this big deal? I love hearing from you guys. Was this the right move for the Senators, or maybe was this the wrong one? Did they jump the gun a little bit? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think it's the right one. But until tomorrow, guys, I appreciate you. Cheers.